and welcome. I'm getting some really good out of this witch's hat. Like, I guess you can't see my full part of the hat, but it's a witch's hat, I swear. Welcome to another reading vlog. This one is going to be a 24-hour readathon vlog. I am doing a graveyard smash readathon with my Patreons for the next 24 hours, and I figured that this was a great excuse to get in as many books as I can. So I've decided to turn this into a themed 24-hour reading vlog where I attempt to read 4 witchy, cozy reads. So I read The Ex-Hex last year, and then I read Kiss Curse this year, and just the cozy witch vibes were just, I was loving them so much. It was putting me in such a huge mood for fall, and so I decided that I wanted more. So I went looking for as many witchy books as I could find that I thought would give me like a cozy vibe, and I found more than 4, but 4 that I was really interested in. One of them is a sequel to a book that I read last year, The Payback's a Witch, and it is From Bad to Cursed by Lainey Harper. This one, as much as I do want to read it, will probably be the last on the stack of ones that I try to get to. So let me tell you about my 3 priority reads. The first one is Witches of Moonshine Manor by Bianca Morris, maybe? This I don't know a whole lot about. My Patreons tell me that she is the sweetest person on Instagram, and that just makes her book seem even more wholesome, so I'm really excited about it. The tagline says, "A coven of modern-day witches, a magical heist gone wrong, and a looming threat." Witches, heist, sold, I'm down. This is probably the one I'm going to be starting with in the morning. I'm going to listen to it on my way home from work because that will start the clock on my 24 hours. It starts for everyone else around 1 p.m., but I'm going to start around 11 because I do have to finish a little bit early. We're still getting in 24 hours. And then I also want to read Small Town Big Magic by Hazel Beck. And this is about a woman that realizes that her small town and herself are not what she always thought. It says there's no such things as witches, right? And when Emerson is attacked by something and saved by magic, she realizes that there might be a little bit more to her small town than she originally thought. This one obviously is giving me small town cozy witchy vibes, so I am really excited for it. And then last but not least, we have A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. This one I've heard so many good things about. I don't really know anything about it, but even Emma, who she reads a lot of middle grade, but I wouldn't look at her and call her a cozy reader, also really enjoyed this one. So I'm very excited about it. It says it's a warm and uplifting novel about an isolated witch whose opportunity to embrace a quirky new family and a new love changes the course of her life. Riley Marie read it and said that it was really good, and I'm so excited. So I'll probably save this one for last if I can. I hate to save it for last because what if I don't get to it? But I want to save the best for last. I don't know. We'll see. I really want this one to be on the ones that I'm able to get done this 24 hours. So there you have the 4 books that I really want to read for this readathon. Can I read 4 books in 24 hours? No. No, I cannot. Can I try? Yes. Yes, I can. I'm hoping to just at least get through 2, but I don't know, I would really love to get at least 3 in, so we'll see. I have the audiobooks for most, if not all of them, which means I can multitask, and anytime I'm doing something, I can be reading. We will be having lots of sprints, which could work for or against me. It will be encouraging me to read, but when I'm having to talk and stop, that's going to be taking away reading time. So we'll see if that works in my favor. But I'm really excited to get started on these. I've been looking forward to this vlog ever since I decided I was going to do it like 3 weeks ago. And it's finally here, and I'm so pumped. So I will check in with you guys in the morning when the readathon starts and let you know which one I decided to go with first. But I'm thinking it's going to be Witches of Moonshine Manor. Guys, so ignore the disaster behind me. I have just gotten home from work, and I got to work today, and it is PA week. I don't know if any of you know what that is, but essentially I'm a PA, work in healthcare, and because it's PA week, they gave us these, can you even see that? It's called Big Bite or Baby Bite. And it's like these bites of, I don't know if they're like cupcakes or cake, but I just had the strawberry one and oh, so good. Anyway, I will probably be picking out on those later, not gonna lie. So I started my readathon a little bit early because I will be finishing it early. So I'm going from 11 to 11. And so right at 11, I started the audiobook of Witches of Moonshine Manor by Bianca Maras. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I can't tell if it's the audiobook or if it's the writing style, but something about this just really is not working for me. There's not a lot of dialogue, which is kind of odd, and it's written in a way that is supposed to make it sound like it's Salem 1800s, but we have phones, computers, all sorts of normal McDonald's, all of that modern stuff. So it's got an odd style to it. It says a convent of modern day witches, a magical heist gone wrong, and a looming threat. But so far, let's see how far I am. So far I'm about 13% of the way through this, and I don't see any of that. It talks about a heist gone wrong well prior to the start of this book that has separated some of the sisters, but it doesn't mention anything else. Really, up to this point, we've just been introduced to all of the different sisters. There was some kind of alarm, and now the town's reverend is coming to try to take down the witches. Again, very Salem 1800s-esque, but with phones, it's odd. It's an odd mashup, and I'm just not sure that, I think that part I could probably be okay with, but the way the writing style is just a very detached style, so not sure if this one's going to work for me. I'm going to switch over to physically reading it here in the set of our first sprint, so hopefully that will be a better way for me to read it. We'll see. So anyway, I'm not sure about this one, but I just wanted to give you my initial thoughts because I was really bad about that last vlog and I want to do better. Becca and I are going to join forces on sprints today because we were both going to sprint at the same time, and so we figured why not just do it together. So I've got about 20 minutes before those start, and I really want some coffee because I tried to get Starbucks and the line, I sat there for probably 10 minutes and didn't move and gave up. So I have syrups here and I have espresso here, and I'm gonna make coffee here. Also, if you guys saw my last vlog, I think I showed you a clip of me making Keurig coffee. As I filmed that, I realized that my coffee was just mostly coffee grounds and that my Keurig wasn't working anymore. So during coffee week, I went to Target and I got the Nespresso, I think it's the Nespresso Plus, because I used to have a Next and it doesn't work anymore. So I got the Plus for like $150 off. So now I can make my espresso lattes again, and I'm so excited about it. I really do need to buy some more espresso pods. But anyway, I'm gonna probably do that either now or in the first sprint, and I will show you guys how I'm making it. I don't know if I wanna do caramel, vanilla, or brown sugar. But considering it's 80 degrees outside and I'll probably do a cold one, I'm thinking we might end up doing like a caramel macchiato or something like that. I don't know. I'll show you guys what I end up deciding on. But anyway, I'm gonna stuff my face on some cake bites, make some coffee, and settle in to get some reading done. Okay, we are coming up on the end of the first set of sprints. It's about 4:30 on Friday afternoon, and I have finished The Witches of Moonshine Manor. This one, all right, first let me tell you a little bit about what it's about. It follows a group of sisters, and they're kind of trying to navigate essentially life when one of their sisters is away and is about to be coming back, and they are probably going to lose their home. I really don't want to say a whole lot more than that because I do feel like anything more than that would be spoilery. To talk about the good stuff about this book, it has a really good sisterhood, friendship, relationship portrayal. I think that was done incredibly well. The whole cast of characters, for the most part, except for maybe one or two, are a lot older. We have a woman in her 80s. A couple of them are in their 50s and 60s. So it's an older cast of characters, which you don't see very much in fantasy. And I did appreciate that. It also has some really interesting representation on like transitioning and finding your identity. We have a character who, I guess I don't really want to tell you any more than that, because if I tell you about the character and kind of what's going on, that might be a little bit spoilery, but it is an LGBTQIA plus type of representation. It is more about like finding your identity and really realizing who you are and who she was always meant to be. And I think that that was really good. I can't speak personally for if the representation was done well, but as far as I could tell, it seemed to be handled really well. And you can tell that that was a thing that was important to the author themselves. Unfortunately, this book did not at all do what I expected or wanted it to based on the blurb of the book. It is very much so about friendship and sisterhood and about these characters. And while I did slowly start to get used to the writing style and really settled into the narrative, I never became overly invested in the characters to the point where they could drive the story all by themselves. And I was saddened and not overly enthused that the heist part of the story was very brief, very underdeveloped, and probably only took up about 30 pages of this 388 page book. So it just, there was essentially no real plot. There was a plot, them trying to save their home, but it was not the driver of the story. It very much so took a back seat. It even says something about Queenie makes a bargain with an evil far more powerful than anything they've ever faced. And that, again, very, very minimal part of the story. You never really got the sense that he was a great evil. You never really saw any of that. And so as far as like fantasy goes, very, very weak. I think that this story would have done well in more of a literary fiction setting. It was literary fiction with a witchy undertone. The witchy part did play a decent enough role, but again, not enough to really get me engaged. So I think if you go into this wanting and expecting it to be a wholesome story about sisterhood and about finding yourself, I think you will really enjoy this book. If you go into it expecting a cozy read about a heist and looming evil and witches and sisterhood and this just big entertaining read, you will be disappointed. So I think that because of that, I'm going to have to give this one a 3-star. I can respect what it was trying to do, but it was a very misleading read and did not work for me because of that. Even if I had known what it was going in, I don't think I would have picked this up because that's just not my type of story. I just, the super feels just doesn't super work for me. It also just says that it's hilarious. I didn't find it overly funny. Anyway, this one did not work for me, so I think 3 stars is probably where this one's gonna land. But that means that it is 4:45 and I'm gonna eat dinner, finish up these sprints, and probably gonna start A Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I'm trying to decide if I want to do this one or Small Town Big Magic next, because I kind of want to do the longer one tonight when I have more time, but at the same time, this one is the one that I really want to make sure I'm able to get to. And I'm a little bit afraid that I'm not going to be able to finish the third book in time for the 24 hours. So I don't know. I'll make the decision and I'll let you guys know once I have started which one I've decided to read. I may read a chapter of both and just kind of see which one grips me the fastest. And I think I will be able to get through the quickest because I really, really, really wanted to get through at least 3 of these books. And I'm making good time. I mean, it's 4:45. That one took me a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but there's still plenty of time left. So yeah, I'm going to get back to sprints. We've got about 9 minutes left in this current one. And then I'm going to decide what I'm reading next. Wish me luck. So I am currently 100 pages into The Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I decided to go with this one just in case I can't get 3 books in. I definitely wanted to make sure that this was on there, and I'm so happy I did because this is giving me exactly what I wanted. It is very witchy. There are spells and different rules that witches have to follow, but there's also just the sense of coziness. You can already tell that there's going to be a romance coming in, and it's magical. It is very, very cozy, and the kids are hilarious. I forget that kids, especially not like toddlers, but like younger kids, things will come out of their mouth that are just insanely funny and shouldn't be because adults would never say them, but kids are just so unapologetically honest. And these are not annoying girls. You would think that a lot of times kids in books are overdone and they're really aggravating, but these girls are not, and I'm just having a great time. This is hilarious. I just find myself snorting, laughing from time to time, and I'm loving it. It's exactly what I was hoping for, and I'm just hoping that the romance does become a little bit more prominent because I think that's just going to make it even more fun. I think we're going to have a bit of a, not grumpy sunshine situation, but a grumpy meets girl kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. But 100 pages in, really, really enjoying it. My goal is to finish this tonight. We'll see if that happens. It's only 8:40 now, so I still have a pretty decent ways to go. And like I said, I'm on exactly page 100. So I think I can do it. I'm going to try. But I'll check back in with you guys hopefully really late tonight when I have finished this book. All right, good morning, ghouls and goblins. I was not as productive as I wanted to be last night. It is 8 a.m. I have just started sprints. The fact that I'm up, awake, and putting on makeup to not look like a goblin when it's 8 a.m. and I haven't had coffee yet is a darn miracle. But I got pretty much through the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches last night, and I really enjoyed it. I do think it's probably going to end up being a 4-star from me, just simply because, and this is a problem that I had with Moonshine Manor, is I think that cozy witch vibe is not going to involve a lot of plot, and it's just going to be the vibes. And cozy is just not quite enough for me to be only the vibes. So I got a little, like, at the beginning, I was loving it. I was living for the vibes, but then I needed a little bit more from it. And we really didn't get a lot of plot at that point. It was more just about her relationship with the girls and her relationship with Jamie and this family and kind of figuring out who she is and if what she's always been told was true and where she belongs and just, you know, all of those wholesome type things, which is great. But I needed a little bit more to it. Like I was just telling my Patreons, one of the things that bugs me about Wolf Gone Wild was there just didn't seem to be enough conflict. It read like a Hallmark movie, and that one had significantly more plot than even this one did. So I think that this one, again, kind of that Hallmark movie feel, the feel goods, and it just didn't have enough movement for me. It was much more just a story about these people than it was any actual like purpose. Sorry, my mouth's a little dry because I've not had anything to drink this morning and literally just got up like 20 minutes ago. But anyway, I do think I'm probably going to give it a low 4-star. Editing Mel here. After listening to me talk about the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, I do think that while I wanted to love it, I think it's probably more like a 3.5 star, a high 3-star than a low 4. I enjoyed it, but I just had too many gripes to really feel like I could give it that really, really good, but I would definitely recommend it. So
I'm giving it a high 3-star, but I do think that you should read it if Cozy Witchy reads are something that you enjoy, because I think that this one was extremely well done. I just don't know if it was the type of book for me. Okay, editing Mel out.
I can't fault the writing style. I did enjoy the characters. I think it did exactly what it set out to do. I'm just not sure if it's something that I personally am going to love. We're gonna do Small Magic Big Town next. I don't have a whole lot of time left before I've got to finish up this readathon, so I'm gonna get as much done as I can, and then we will flash forward into the future and I will tell you about the end of the book if I don't get it done. But yeah, I liked it. I didn't absolutely love it, but I still think it was a success. I'm still very, very glad I read it, and I would definitely recommend it to those of you that are looking for something very, very cozy, something that you don't really have to focus super hard on. You can just kind of enjoy the moment with it. I think that that is definitely going to be the book for you. So perfect witchy. It did have a lot of witchy stuff in it, so I do think that it is perfect for this season. And I would highly recommend it, especially the audiobook. I really, really enjoyed the audiobook. I thought the narrator did a great job, especially with the different voices. It wasn't enough to be annoying, but it was enough to really like keep me engaged and be really entertaining. So I'm going to go make me some coffee and start Small Town Big Magic on sprints. We're doing like super focused sprints, so 30 minutes on, 5 minutes off for the next 2 hours to see how much more reading we can get done. They will then continue on until 1 o'clock, and I have to go run some errands, sadly, which was not the plan when I scheduled this readathon, but here we are. So I will check back in at some point before I leave to let you know how Small Town Big Magic is going. We'll wrap up how much I was able to actually get done in the time frame that I allotted myself, and then I'll come back sometime later and finish off this vlog. Okay guys, so that is a wrap on what I've read so far for the readathon. It's the end for me. It is now 10:15, and since I started at 11 and my mom is almost here, I'm not going to be able to read anything else. But I did get to page 132 of Small Town Big Magic by Hazel Beck. I will finish this one probably today, and then I will come back and we'll just do a vlogception of my thoughts on this one. But so far, at page 132, it's okay. It follows Emerson, who is trying to do this festival for her small town. It's her town, and she feels like she kind of has to do everything, and it's kind of being sabotaged by some other people in the town. And when she goes to check on her beloved rosebuds one day, she realizes, or the day before the festival, she realizes that they have been destroyed, and then there's something there that tries to attack her, and she magically kills it and finds out that she is a witch and that the whole town is full of witches. So it's interesting so far. Emerson is a bit of an insufferable character. She is not lacking for the confidence, to the point where she's driving me crazy, because it's just, I am more powerful. I am going to do this. I can do anything. This is my town. I rule the town. And I'm just like, girl, be put in your place and calm down. It's also very, very, very heavy on the small town rivalry vibes. Think like Gilmore Girls on crack. But overall, I'm not minding that. I like it okay. I think it is fun and it's going to be interesting to read. I'm curious to see where it goes, because we just got to what I think is going to be the plot at like page 130. So we'll see. I'm excited to continue reading it. I hope that I end up loving it in the end, and because unfortunately I have to go run some errands. So the readathon does have to end here for me. So in a little bit, I will touch back base once I have finished that. We'll go over all of my thoughts for it and the other books, and we'll wrap up this vlog. Okay guys, so I think it's officially time to wrap up this vlog. We're going to do some vlogception and jump forward a day or so, where I'm going to be DNFing Small Town Big Magic. This is just, the idea is good, the execution not working so much. I do like that there is kind of this really small town and everyone there is witches, and in order to protect the town, if you don't have magic, then you have to either be memory wiped or you have to leave the town entirely. And it does have kind of that small town mayor rivalry kind of status, and I do like that, but I just don't understand what we're really trying to accomplish. The stakes feel very, very low. The character relationships, our main character is entirely insufferable. She thinks that she is the best at everything. She thinks that only she can fix any kind of problem. She thinks that everyone should listen to her. She's so overconfident. The romance just feels extremely forced. And while I'm not absolutely hating it, I just don't care enough to continue with it. And I don't know. I don't feel like the payoff's going to be very good. I don't feel like the main character's going to learn anything. I don't feel like the relationship is ever going to get good. We're fade to black. We have no chemistry. It's not working for me. So I'm going to DNF this at about 60%. It's not like I didn't try, but I just have no interest in continuing when there are so many other things that I need to read. So, to wrap up this vlog, I read The Witches of Moonshine Manor, and it was okay. I can see why people would love it, but it just wasn't the book for me. If you're looking for something that is more, wholesome, older characters, sisterhood vibes, then I think Witches of Moonshine Manor would work well for you. It doesn't have a ton of plot, but there is a little bit there. And then The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, I think, was extremely well written. I really liked all of the characters in that book, and it had immaculate cozy vibes, but again, it had no real plot, nothing to truly drive the story forward other than the characters themselves. And I am a more plot-driven reader. I need good characters, but I also need there to be something happening, and so it was good. I think I'm going to give it a 3.5 star. It's just not my kind of book. I was expecting there to be, I think, a little bit more romance or a little bit more plot to that one when I picked it up, so that's on me. And then this one, just the character and the way that it was written is just not working, and I'm going to be DNFing it. So, semi-success for this vlog. I managed to get 3 books done for the most part, and I'm happy with those. And I think that, I don't regret reading any of these. They were definitely on my anticipated list, and kind of I'm learning to what I like in books and what's going to work for me. And I think Witchy is going to have to be like a cozy witchy read. It's going to have to be more of a romance so that there's plot and conflict rather than just for the vibe. So at least I have now learned something about myself and learned something about what to look for in books, which is always a good time. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had fun. I think Patreons had a lot of fun with this 24-hour readathon, and I hope to do another 1 or 2 of these here in the future. If you guys want to hang out with me a little bit more, links to the Patreon as well as Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads are all linked down in the description box. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you wanna, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!